Good morning, everybody. This is Wendy with Wendy's Paper Junk, and it is early Saturday morning. I had to drop my mom off at work, and I thought, well, I'll get some gluing done so it'll glue today. So I thought, while I'm doing this, I might as well show you guys. Probably have already done this or seen this numerous times, but I thought, well, why not? When something's been done to death. Okay, so I have a few stacks of these because I got them when I always get them when they're in stock at the Dollar Tree, or I should say the $1.25 tree now, which is fine, you know, 25 cents. I can understand why they increased the prices, but anyway, they every so often, you don't find them often in a 3-pack like this, which is an excellent deal. These little notebooks, 3 in a package, and I usually snap them up when I can, and I save them. Don't ask me, I just save them because I hoard paper apparently. So, but I'm covering one, and let me show you. I am loving this project so far. And remember, if you watch my previous one, you know I'm making 2. So, of course, that cover is going to be a little different, but it's still going to have that pleather base. Okay, so here is the cover. I'm so excited. So, here's the cover of this one, okay? And I've stitched, and let's see here. There's some charms dangling and just a random tag hanging. But, okay, at that, and everything's stitched. And I got this, we used to call them purse medals, but it's for leather working, for saddles and stuff. And I can't remember what it calls, but it's got a screw back. It has a screw back on it that screws in, so you could take it off, but so I am going to, once I figure out what kind of string I want to use or a ribbon, I will stitch it to the back here so it can go around this as a tie. But I'm also going to include a really fun, well, whatever you do with it, just really fun over the top lace tie too. Just something to add a little oomph to it, you know what I mean? So I have that ready too. So, but that one won't be attached, so you can remove it. So anyway, I got this. I got it all stitched. I left some of the, you know, the edges to fray. And here's the back. And of course, you know, it's soft. It's got this, and I'm calling it pleather because that's what it is. It's pleather. And then the inside, I got this all stitched in and lined. And what I did was I stitched on this pocket with the leftover. This was the rest of this ticking that I had. I only had so much, so I used it up. Woohoo! Oh, you know what? That's a fib. That is a fib because I do have this much left. So anyway, I put a pocket here because I wanted to insert kind of like a little traveling notebook, because of course you're gonna have your journal, junk journal pages here, but I actually want an actual notebook. You know, maybe you just want to carry this in your purse or something to write or whatever on, and it's gonna fit right here in the front cover. Okay, so there's this little, you'll have this little journal notebook. Okay, but I needed to cover it because, you know, who wants, well, I mean, it could go for whatever, but, you know, you have to personalize it. But, yeah, these are great. I keep one in my purse, but, yeah, they're just a notebook. But they're really nice. They feel good. So, for $1.25, you know, I'm thinking this is a good deal. Anyway, I got to cover one more for the second one. So, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm chattering, but I can't help it. So, what I am doing is I'm going to finish up covering this one. And, I used glue. I'm going to put a sheet on the inside here. So, I'm trying to think, is it better just to keep using glue or add, probably, because I think I'm going to do some stitching around the edges. I don't know yet. We'll see. So that is what I'm doing right now, is covering the little notebook. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to tell you. Okay, I'm moving rooms. I'm going into the basement. I'm actually moving myself down into the basement. Whole separate entrance. It's almost another living area. There's bathroom entrance and stuff. And so I'll have this huge room, for my crafting, which I definitely, and I have 2 massive metal desks that my grandpa, they used to belong to my grandpa before, you know, he passed away. Huge, metal desk, and they're like, because he used to be well, he used to be a mechanic. He used to work on radios and TVs, the old tubesters and stuff. And they were just massive. And oh my gosh, I'm drooling over them. Because one will hold my 2 sewing machines, my paper setup, and my Cricut. I didn't tell you guys I have a Cricut. I will tell you about the Cricut later once I figure out how to use it. But it was lended to me by my aunt, because she got a new Cricut, so she handed me down the old one. Haven't used it yet. There's a lot of bells and whistles to it. I will eventually, you know, try my hand at some of that stuff, but till then, you know, it's being stored. So, and then my other desk is for my work desk, for my my laptop, and you know what I do work wise, and just personal wise, you know, all that kind of stuff you got to keep track of. So, it's an undertaking. Tomorrow is going to be a huge day of trying to clean out the rest of the junk that was just been stored down there forever. And, then I can start, you know, cleaning it and getting it painted. I'm really excited about it, guys. I'm just like, you know how cramped I've been in this little area here. So, now, what was I saying? What got me on to telling you guys about my... Oh my gosh. Well, that's, I mean, so I'm moving down there. So, oh, I just totally forgot what I was talking to you guys about, didn't I? Well, you can't believe me. It's early. It's early. Okay. Windy. Anyway, so I will be moving down there, and, I'll be better organized. I'll be able to work on my videos more, because right now I'm so overwhelmed with, work and bills and, just trying to make space, because I'm in a very crammed space, you know. So it's been a year coming, but I'm doing it. Oh, oh my gosh, now I know what I was going to tell you. Okay, as I'm cleaning out the junk basement in the corner. Now, mind you, it probably hasn't, it's been a dumping ground for my brother, you know, because this is my grandparents' house, okay, and then they passed away, and kind of half of their junk is down there, but then our stuff from being teenagers from the 80s and 90s, there's junk down there. I mean, there's just a bunch of just crap, okay, so I'm going through it, and a lot of it is just being tossed and trashed, you know. It's finally just, there's nothing, I mean, the stuff that I can save, great, I'm going to save and store, but a lot of it's just crap we don't need. So, on that note, as I was going through stuff, now, I sell stuff on eBay, okay, you know, just to try to help make, you know, make some money and, you know, pay the bills. So I do sell stuff on eBay. I don't sell any of my journals or paper stuff on eBay. I just don't. I don't think I don't think it's the platform for me to sell my journals on. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. But I've sold books, and I've sold books, and just I've sold yarn, and just whatever. I thought I can. My brother brought me some old golf clubs. I've sold golf clubs. So anyway, I'm familiar. I sell on eBay. At times. I'm not like a full-time seller. Like, I got one thing listed today, which I will tell you about because it's hilarious. Anyway, back to the story. A week ago, as I was cleaning it, still cleaning it out, I came across this bottle of perfume cologne. Mind you, it was probably this tall. Probably, yeah, about this tall, okay? And it was called Animal, like animal, for men. And it was scratched up. It still had the lid, still worked, still smelled good. It was a little bit over half full. I'm like, well, from watching all the YouTubers that sell and buy stuff, I know that old perfumes, for some godly known reason, people buy. So I put this cologne, perfume, whatever you want to call it. It was for men, so I guess it's cologne, on eBay. And I listed it for like $2, okay? Not thinking, okay, I'm like, whatever. I mean, if it doesn't sell, I'll just pitch it. But once again, I'm surprised by the things some people will buy. And to me, half-filled bottles of perfume, I don't think I would buy, because I would want a new bottle of perfume. Anyway, ended up selling it for like $8 and like 27 cents. And I'm like, no way. Somebody, plus the ship, it was like $3 something to ship. $8, $9, $10, $11. Somebody paid for this bottle of old used perfume, cologne. So it just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, here's a perk. I'm down here cleaning through this crap, junking it, hauling it off to the dump and all this stuff. I come across something else. And what I came across was, do you guys remember the Magic Gathering cards? The playing cards. It's called Magic the Gathering. Okay, so there was a box down there. The box is roached. It was cracked and, it's roached. But there's a full set of cards in there. 60 cards in this magic thing. And as I know from watching YouTube and stuff, that darn old YouTube, that some of those are worth money. And I'm like, okay, well, I sat and went through the whole stack of cards. 60 cards. You know what a pain it is to look up 60 individual cards. I'm like, geez. Okay, so there's a few in there that were probably estimated value of about $40 to $60, depending on who's going to pay that for a card, okay? So, but the rest of them, there were a dime a dozen. There was only probably like 4 really good ones in there. I'm like, okay, so what can I sell the whole thing for? And so I'm searching, and it ranged from anywhere from like $10 to $100. So I took a chance, and last night I listed it for the eBay recommended listing price. It said eBay gives you that recommended price to list things at, and it said, start your listing at $18. So I'm like, okay, I started it for $18. Last night, as I was trying to sleep, my phone kept going ding, 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 ding. I wake up this morning, kid you not, you guys, it's up to $54. $54. I'm like, who in the right mind? Because this is the thing here on this. Here, hold on, I'm trying to grab my I need a, I think, yeah, this will be fine. Anyway, Uh, so this cards is from 1994, and apparently these cards you can't use in the Magic game anymore because the Magic card game has been updated. So the old cards don't work in the game anymore. So basically, these cards are purely only to collect and have in your collection. They're not used for gaming. And I'm like, who? I'm just like, what? So these cards that really have no usefulness to them, except for, I guess, if you want to just collect them. So that's what's happening. It's up to like $54 now, and I'm going, no way. I'm like, what else can I find downstairs in the junk? I'm like, I cannot believe the 80s and 90s stuff is so popular. I'm like, I just wish I would have saved half my crap that, you know, that I should have. It's just like, dang. Dang, dang, dang. Sorry. Trying to talk and do this, you know, is just asking to make a boo-boo. Because my middle brother, the one that's just right below me, he's smart. He saved his toys, and he saved some of our toys. So he has his collection, and then of course he has his comic book collection. He's the one that gives me comic books, and unfortunately we all know a lot of the comic books aren't worth anything, but some things blow my mind, and some things are like, really, that's what's worth money? Like Cabbage Patch Dolls. I would have thought Cabbage Patch Dolls would have held their money. But they didn't. They're not really that sought after. Same way with Barbie dolls. Of course, I never had a Barbie doll. I never collected Barbie dolls. I can say I never played with Barbie dolls. But all those kids that were told, don't open the box, they're collectibles. They'll be worth money someday. Those Barbies are not worth nothing. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What did I do with my cutter? Oh boy. I guess I'll use this one, even though this one is kind of on the dull side. So I've just been kind of learning what's people buying and what's not, and then having a fit over stuff we've thrown away or got rid of, and like the Furby dolls. Does anybody remember Furby? Okay, I didn't have a Furby. My one brother didn't have a Furby. My youngest brother had a Furby. He just threw a fit that he had to have a Furby. And those things can go for upwards to $1,000. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Those ugly little Furby dolls. It's just ridiculous. I've just been fascinated by the stuff that, just the stuff that, that people are collecting, I guess. It's just, like I said, it's just so fascinating to me. So you'll have to tell me, do you guys collect anything? What would you spend money on to find? Let me know that. Because I personally liked Garbage Pail Kids. I loved those crazy Garbage Pail Kids. I even watched the movie. Loved the movie too. It was so cheesy. And, what else? See, I grew up with two brothers, so I played more with the toy guns and the G.I. Joes, the Transformers, the Voltron. all of that stuff. He-Man. Did get into She-Ra, but it was mainly He-Man, Masters of the Universe. And then and it's funny because with my son was really at the generation that video games was starting to really hop. Even as a kid, he didn't really have toys as much as he had video games, which was my fault. I should have really had him play more with actual toys, but it just wasn't a thing with his age group, you know. So, okay, this one I think I'm gonna, but, what, he didn't, his thing, he collected video games. That's what it was. They collected video games back then. PlayStation, the original PlayStation. It wasn't cars or anything like that, so it's like his generation is finding my stuff really cool. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, okay, if you say so. But my kid, even though he didn't have the toy, you know, the toy thing, he had the video games, but he grew up on all the old 80s movies. I totally educated my kid on music and movies. So he got to watch 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, all the, you know, the classic 80s. He watched all the horror movies. I had that baby in the movie theater when he was a baby, and he watched horror movies from a young age. I didn't really not let him watch anything because just like I was raised, there was no such thing as R-rated or too scary or anything. We just, I mean, if it was scary, that was fun, you know? You're supposed to be scary. If there was nudity in it, we were young and innocent. We didn't really know. We just thought, oh, there's, back then, the Benny Hill show, it was a thing, you know, and boobies. Oh my God, there was boobies. Wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was just like, just get on with it. So nowadays it's like everything's a big deal, and so I kind of raised him the same way I was raised, where, you know, you watched whatever. If there was an issue with something, you talked about it. So I don't know how I got onto this rant. I think because I'm mindlessly talking so I don't mess up what I'm doing. This is taking me a little longer than I thought it was going to, but that's okay. I just want to make sure. I don't want to butt it too far up into that, because then I don't think it'll stay closed. I think it'll hit into that spine and not. So we'll just leave it at that. But get the air bubbles out. And anyway, I know I've been jabbering, haven't I? So I did ink this, didn't I? Why doesn't it look like I inked this? That's because I don't know. Today is my doggy's birthday. My Gigi. She's a Yorkie. She's 14 years old today. She's my little old lady. She hasn't been doing well. She's had a severe cough. That's been slowly getting worse. And I kind of been preparing myself about it, because it's really nothing we can do about it. But she's not in any pain right now. So basically, I'm just, you know, letting her live her life. She just stays with me on her little doggy bed. Her hips are out of joint. Her knees are out of joint. There's nothing to do, so she can't jump or anything. She can hobble around, but and the vet says as long as she's not showing that she's in distress or pain, you know, just leave her alone. And that's what I do. She gets her treats and she gets cuddles, and I try not to dwell on it, but she's made it to 14 years. She's 14 years. I'm like, oh my gosh. Now the other two babies, pet fur baby, well, one's not a fur baby. She's a hairless cat. Her and then the Dobie, Hector, they're both they turned 2 in March. So 2 years old versus a 14-year-old. They don't see each other. I keep her sequestered with me because she was never around other animals, and she doesn't like other animals. She don't like other people really either. She's my dog. Well, and my son when he ever comes over to see her, but mainly she's my dog. Had her since she was a puppy, and she would always ride on my shoulder. She'd drive everywhere with me. So, I mean, she's pretty much my second child. And, I'll have to do it this way, I guess. And, anyway, so she's with me 24/7. She goes where I go. She does not eat what I eat. She only gets dog food and egg. She'll get an egg probably every couple days. She'll get a scrambled egg, but she does not get table food. I don't believe in feeding my animals table food. But anyway, so a hairless cat, Sabrina, she's 2. I got Adobe, Hector, he's 2. Those two are 2 peas in a pod. They are siblings, and they fight and play and love on each other. So there's that. Okay, so that took a little longer than I thought. Oh well, that's just because I'm jabbering and I wanted to make sure. Cool. All right, so this is the journal, the little pocket journal. That's going to go right in there like that. And then I'm going to work on this today too. The signature is going to go right in there like that. So I'm loving this. What do you guys think? So I have to work on the signature next, but since I only have a little bit of time, let's go ahead and do this real quick. I have this map one. Try to, if I lay it down like this, it'll be backwards. It's gonna have to go like that. Okay, so what I do, I don't spread it out like this. I don't find the center and hold it out like this because it doesn't stay. I just fold it over to one side. It lays better that way. And all I do with this cover is I cover it with glue, whatever glue you're going to use. This works. I can use score tape or whatever, but this works just as well. Get it to the corners, get it along the spine, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to lay it down, leave me some space. And then, see how I pull this up in the middle because this will lay flat now. And then I'll come here with my scissors and I leave a nice edge. I think I got glue on my scissors. I'm gonna need to fix it. And I trim this down just a little. It was a little harder to fold these because you have this already here and you have a curve here. So this is how I did it. I fold the edge and make sure you get all the way to the edge, and I fold that one up just like that. Same way to this side. And fold it over. All right, and then this is when I close it. Okay, so what I do is I find that the top, I feel to where the top of the notebook stops, and I kind of pinch it there, and I cut a triangle like that. I flip it over, and I feel for the bottom here, and I cut those. Okay, now we have this really weird shape. So what I do is I take the bottom, fold it up, take the top, fold it down, and then you'll have this little square here, okay? So you cut this way, and then I usually cut it at a little bit of an angle, just like that. So you cut that corner, this corner piece off. Don't cut your cover, just the excess corner. So same thing for each side here. So you got, and then just at a little angle, not much. And then all you gotta do is glue the flap down. And glue that flap down. Okay, now since my notebook has curved edges, I just take my curved cutter, which is like my favorite tool ever, and go ahead and cut those. And then you can come back and ink. All right, so let me do this side. All right, and then I just cut an angle. Same thing here. Let's see. And then we'll glue the flaps down. And we'll glue those down. Okay. Oh, and then come back and I round these corners. And then, okay, I'll just ink the edges. Whole new notebook. Absolutely love it. Well, if I was smart, I would have cut out the, dang it. That's what I get. I wasn't paying attention. So, I need to... And wish I knew where my other cutter was. I don't know what I did with it. This one is dull. I'm going to have to fix it. All right. Dun, da, da, da. Let's make sure that's the right. Yep. Okay, so then I just need one more piece. I love this goldy color for some reason. All right, let's cut this. And don't forget to ink before you glue it down. This one. Okay. And I'm going to use, I think this helps keep a really good, the edges down really nicely for something like this. So, and you know, I still use glue on the center. I just like all the way to that edge. You guys have probably already done this and probably seen this done, but I needed these two done for both of the journals I'm working on, because I think it needs it. Okay. And then I have to go get my errands done. I got to go to the post office. And okay, let's get it on, and then we will be done with the notebooks. And Okay. That's in. That's so cool. And then let's get this one on. And now, even though I am over my 30 minutes, and you guys are awesome if you hung out this long, and I'll be done. And then I'll come back to play later tonight. No air bubbles. Okay. There we go. Two. It's done. So now you have a little field notebook. So, okay. Woohoo! I got stuff done. I got it done. All right. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for hanging out with me, listening to me randomly ramble about stuff. It'll happen again probably this evening. So, talk to you soon. Bye.